Alright people, what's going on? It's your boy Woozilla. We back with another, finally, I'm not gonna lie to you because I be slacking on these shits, review. Now make sure you following my damn walkthrough channel, Woozilla Walkthroughs. Did what I'm saying. There's gonna be a link in the description box. I beat this game like maybe a month or two ago finally. There's a whole story behind that. We'll get into that thing later. But yeah, so I finally beat Tsushima, and I gotta say that it's probably one of my favorite games that I played in like the last 2-3 years easily. So let's get into it. Alright, so when it comes to a game like Ghost of Tsushima, you dig what I'm saying? There was a few things I was looking for from the initial reveal trailer, and that was solid gameplay, no clunky controls, so I guess that goes into gameplay. So solid gameplay, good graphics, and a solid story. This game delivered on all three fronts of that. Gameplay wise, the gameplay just was smooth. Like, did it have its type clunky-ish moments? Yes, but we're gonna get into more like the details of that later. But overall, gameplay was just smooth. I didn't run into too many bugs, glitches, or none of that. The combat, good. Riding on the horse was good. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it just felt good to play this game. Now, I'm gonna have, hold up, let me get the right one. Actually, I'm gonna use this one. Use this one right here. So the gameplay is like right here and whatnot. This is actually my walkthrough channel, so make sure y'all go peep. And this is going to have spoilers in it. So spoiler alert is gonna have a big ass spoiler alert in the damn description box and in the title. So graphically, game looked good. Like, I played this originally on my PS4 and the game looked great. Then I played it on my PS5 and it ran and looked better. So when it comes to a game like this, there was just not too many negative things I could say about it from one front to the other. That had a living, breathing world, and Lord knows for me, I love that in my games. There's nothing worse than having an open world game that is just open and no world in it. Like, the world's not living, it's not breathing, nothing random happens. So let's go ahead and talk. Let me backtrack a little bit. So I'm gonna go by piece. So graphically, game looked good. Gameplay wise, it played immaculate. The only issue I had was just the traversing the environments, like the rock climbing and things like that. Story wise, so story initially takes place on like this island, you know, Tsushima or whatever, and the Mongolians invade and basically take over because you are so hard stuck in your traditional samurai ways of fighting someone head up that you are essentially rigid and predictable, which leads to your ultimate downfall, right? So you try to pull up on Khan and whoop his ass because he's captured your uncle, and you get beasted, to which you basically have to build up an army and get some old allies that you have previously trained with and fought with to help reclaim Tsushima. Well, first save your uncle and then reclaim Tsushima. And you meet a whole lot of great characters, from Lady Masako, who has a very interesting story, Lord Ishikawa, the big homie right here, I forgot his name, of course, fuck, what's shorty name? The girl who saved your life, I can't remember her name, is gonna infuriate me now. But every character in this game, like every little side character that you meet, has a story to tell, and it is interesting, and you actually become involved in it to the point where like certain decisions that you have to make, like it has like crazy decision making in it, but like you kind of like feel for like the things that they're going through. Because there are some instances in this game where you kind of feel like, no, I don't want to do this, or I'm not feeling that move, right? And you also see kind of like the iteration of, you know, the ninja and like that surprise attack and that guerrilla warfare, more or less, that you're implementing into the more traditional samurai ways. And your uncle's just hard stuck on, you know, you can't hide, you gotta fight your opponent, you know, die with honor, all this other bullshit. Is like you living with these old codes, and the world is changing and nobody is doing that anymore. And he doesn't see the big picture, but you kind of do. And also, you actually find out how much of a dick your family was to like the common people as well in the story, which was actually very interesting. Because, you know, you were rich and privileged and things of that sort, so you was kind of like, you know, everybody loves my family, we treat everybody with respect, and you find out, oh no, it's your family been doing some dirty things to people, and some people ain't rocking with it for real, which kind of leads to like a rift. And so you kind of being this beacon of hope, or the ghost, give people a reason to fight. You make people brave, you know, not scared to, you know, take on the Mongolians. Because the Mongolians, you actually hate them in this game. They are highly annoying and highly aggressive. Kind of like how you would expect them to be, which is, I'm not gonna lie, a kind of dope thing, honestly. This game definitely features, you know, different tiers of enemies, from like the basic ones to the more faster ones, and the one that use fire and poison and things like that. So each enemy kind of use like different elements and tactics to kill you, which kind of makes you stand on your toes, because you have a bunch of tactics and maneuvers that you use to kill them, from a bow to kunai to a poison dart to literally everything. It literally pays off to kind of play this game how you want to play it. And the world kind of shifts around you. So the more that you stray away from the typical path of the samurai, where you're not fighting people head up, where you're not meeting them head up, the world changes, so it's darker, it's more storms, things like that. Whereas if you're fighting more the samurai route, it's more sunny and things like that. So you kind of see like that world change around you. But at the same time, you actually see Jin change too, and he starts to understand that it's more than just the samurai way. Like, you are inspiring people, you are helping people, you are focusing on the main goal. And this was the two differences that you will find out in the story. The main goal for Jin was to take back Tsushima by any means necessary. That was his thing. This is my island, this is, you know, my area, like my country essentially, and I'm going to take it back by any means necessary. Whereas your uncle was more so worried about his way and his samurai code the whole time. It was just mostly about him and his way. Jin was thinking about the people. If you notice, Jin always talked about people in the story. If you actually played the game, his whole thing was like, the people need help. I'm here to help the people. I'm here to, you know, people like Tsushima needs to be freed. Whereas your uncle's like, no, it's not the samurai way. They're gonna fear you. They're gonna do this and the third. It's like, no, the people love me because I'm doing something that they were scared to do, and now they're going to free themselves from the, you know, monarchy ideologies and things of that sort. Or we got to do it just this specific way, when there's alternate ways to complete a task, which is what Jin did. He found multiple ways to complete one task to take over Tsushima and kill the Khan. So story-wise, it was great, and without giving up the ending too much, I don't want to give up the ending was definitely good. But apparently, like, there's 2 different ways for it, or like 2 or 3, I don't know, something like that. To give y'all context, I chose like the more darker path, so I had to make a hard decision and part ways with family. But overall, story-wise, I loved it. Like, gameplay, I can't talk enough about the damn gameplay, because the game sounded good. Like, the wind, you actually heard, like, you know, twigs like rustling, things of that sort. You know, when you ride in through like the big ass like grass fields or whatever, if you're on your horse, you actually watch Jin like reach down and touch the damn the grass, as well as like if he's just walking casually. The people interact with you, and like the more that your legend grows or whatever, the people start to praise you more, which is crazy enough, right? Like, they see the legend in front of you, and as your legend grows, they start to love you more, which kind of makes you want to stay with what you're doing. The boss fights, I'm not gonna lie, were kind of easy, but it's probably because of the ability that you unlock, where you can just kind of run through people. That, and I played on medium. I was not playing this shit on hard. I'm good. So once you unlock, like, I think it was Moon Stance, and you max that thing out, you essentially get like a heavy attack where you do like 5 heavy attacks in rapid succession, and you break everybody's guard with like the 3rd one. Once you do that, you can literally spam that shit with like the damn fire sword and go crazy. Speaking of fire swords, this game also features like the Tales of Tsushima, like the Legend of Tsushima, where like you do certain tasks and you get better armor, better weapons, and things of that sort, all because you did like this tale. And it is difficult. Like, the Ronin one was a pain in the ass. If you see my walkthrough, I died multiple freaking times doing that one. The Ronin were actually mini bosses in of themselves too. The Ronin are some bitches, I ain't gonna lie. They gave Ronin a bad name. But it's just great to see an original IP be this good and do this well, because this game is Game of the Year. Fuck The Last of Us 2. I don't care what you say. That game was not Game of the Year. It was this one right here, an original IP. Should have definitely won Game of the Year. Talk about it with your mama. I don't care about your feelings. But overall, this game literally did everything I needed it to do, like through and friggin' through. My one gripe with this game, like my biggest gripe with this game, is get some music. I actually forgot to put music on. Then like I really need it for real. But the one gripe I did have with this game was traversing the environment. So this game does feature, you know, like parkour and things like that. You know, like what's one of my favorite games? What's that joint called? Shadow of War. But Shadow of War is a lot smoother than this game. This game is kind of clunky. I get that it's not like the main focal point. Like it is and it isn't, because like as a ninja you kind of have to like move around, traverse the environment, you know, up and around and things like that. So this game did that okay, but it didn't do it well, because there were times where I would jump and he wouldn't grab onto a ledge and I would die, or times like where he will jump somewhere else instead of like where I was looking at. I can't fault this game too much about that, but like that's like one of the biggest negatives I have. If you're wondering why it took me so long to beat this game, it's because I had it on PS4 and I was doing my walkthrough and I was about to literally speed run it in like 2 days. Not speed run it, but like, yes, fucking speed run it in like 2 days and just get the game beat and over with. Because I've been prolonging playing this game because I got distracted by everything else for like the main channel and the other walkthroughs I was doing. But when I went to play it one day, when PlayStation had that update, you know, that monitor party chat and things like that, my PS4 would not update and essentially froze and bricked to where I had to turn it off, and when I tried turning it back on, it wouldn't move. Like my PS4 was just bricked. Luckily, took it to Mama Dukes, and she ended up fixing it and figuring it out. But by that time I had my PS5, so I didn't even need my PS4. So I ended up giving my PS4 to my brother, and I ended up playing the game and beating it on my PS5. That's why it took me so long. But graphically, like I said, it's the tiny attention to details. Like every time you move or whatever, like you actually leave like markings, things like that. You run in mud, you see my pants are muddy. Like the water kind of like drips off your clothes and the tire and things like that. Like you see difference between like when I'm dry and when I'm, you know, wet. When you run, you end up getting tired or whatever. You dig? It fucking hell. Even like the characters, like when you kill them and whatnot, they make sounds. So if you assassinate somebody, the AI can be dumb at times, but like if you assassinate somebody near somebody and they hear the ching, like the ching, whatever. I made a money sound, but like you know the stabbing sound. When you do that, they'll actually like go and look like, what the fuck is that? Like, what the fuck going on? So the audio in this game was good. The music in this game was good too, as well. It provided this game really did provide like a solid challenge. Like it didn't feel too easy. Like granted, when I actually like got the skills, I started to, you know, beast people, but that's because that kind of happens with games. The more stronger you get, you should be able to run through motherfuckers. So that was refreshing for me personally. The side characters were actually interesting, and I actually cared about them. It's rare when I actually give a shit about side characters, because sometimes I just genuinely don't fuck. Like sometimes they just bore me. Like I'm not trying to hear nothing they gotta talk about. Whereas in this game, I actually cared. It was like, I don't want nobody to die. I don't want nobody to get hurt. And you know, you can't really avoid that in these type of games, or in any game for that matter. But I can honestly say this game exceeded all expectations that I did have, like all of them. Remember, this game got shown off with Sekiro, like that same E3. And Sekiro's made by the Dark Souls developer, so I had no interest in playing that because I'm not gonna rage. I was more interested in Ghost of Tsushima because I'm like, yo, this game seems more like, you know, Shadow of War-ish and like ninja style. I'm really with that. And this game really did everything I wanted to do for it to be great for me to actually play it and love it. From the story, from the characters, side characters, so on and so forth, from the challenge, graphically, just everything I needed this game to do and be, it did and was that and more. Because I found myself wanting to actually play this game again. I doubt I will, but I actually want to play it again. And on top of that, a lot of people I know who really don't platinum games like that ended up platinuming this game because it was that good. I mean, there's so many opportunities for you to like grow your legend without even touching the main quest for real. Whether it be discovering fox dens, to just clearing out Mongolian camps and freeing people, to freeing people who are being like picked on by like the Mongolians. It's just so much to do that can level up your character, and that we get more immersed in the world. you can't help but like this game. So my final like grade, we gonna rate it from like, we gonna do the standardized grading of from A, B, C, D, and F. You dig what I'm saying? We gonna rate this game an A+. Cream with a crop. However you can get this game, full price sale, whatever, you need to play this game. This is a must play game. No game like actually amazed me. No game had me this like involved in the story more than this game, because even when I was trying to run through the game, hurry and beat it from a walkthrough channel, I was still fully interested in every single cutscene, you know, all the dialogue and things of that sort, like fully invested. So I would recommend this game to anybody. If you get the PS5 and you haven't played this game yet, get this game. You know, Ratchet and Clank, I'm copping that obviously, but that game can wait. Spider-Man can wait. You gotta play this one first. This one needs to come before all that shit. Dead ass. But like I said, this game gets an A+ on the grading scale of, you know, A, B, C, D, and F. Game gets an A. But let me know what y'all think about if you actually played this game in the comment section below. I'm gonna try to do more of these for y'all when I get the time to. But with that being said, folks, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you're new, definitely subscribe and tell a friend, tell a friend. Just on all platforms, because I know you got them. That being said, folks, your boy Woozilla, and I'm out. Peace.